You want me to break something else?
No.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I know you get to like it if you give it a chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. My little baby sister can do it.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them. This season, a title fight's brewing. Murphy vs. Carrey. That's right, both Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey this season. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is a man who goes where Joe Man has gone before, Joe Vekeman.
Hi.
And on the audio boards is Lev Van Rensselaer reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothemcast@gmail.com. And speaking of Lev, we don't have a sponsor this week because Lev wanted to use this time to give out a special shout-out for the holidays. Netflix is red, Paramount's blue, The Rock makes terrible movies, but at least I've got you. From your Valentine, Lev Van Rensselaer, to presumably his special sweetheart. Right?
In your pants.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, Lev is like us. He also hates The Rock. That's what I learned from that. Just anytime you can take a dig at him, it's fun.
Yeah. It's low-hanging fruit, though. Sometimes it feels
He's
like.
got too much money.
Rock made bad movies, we know.
Yeah.
And, all right. Joe,
Yeah.
still on Murphy this week. What movie are we doing of him?
We watched Trading Places because it came out 1 month before Jim Carrey's first movie.
Okay.
That's why we're watching it.
That's why we're doing it.
But it's good to see Eddie Murphy still second build. I guess Dan Aykroyd is more famous. Is it just because of Blues Brothers? Because what else is out for Dan Aykroyd? Ghostbusters doesn't exist yet. He's on SNL.
Not anymore, but Eddie Murphy's currently on SNL, but Dan Aykroyd had spent the first 5 years of SNL.
Yeah.
I bet he did, like some dumb little movies we haven't heard of.
Yeah, I'll look up Aykroyd in a minute.
I mean, this is Eddie Murphy's second film, and he doesn't show up for, 15 minutes or whatever it feels like.
It's becoming a trend, have you noticed?
So, I'm not too surprised. It's only a year after the other movie, too, right?
Yep.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He just fucking did these back to back.
Yep.
This one, though, if this were his first movie, I'd be like, I get this. Makes sense to me.
Thank you. Yeah. I think we're on the same page on this one. We watched 1983's Trading Places, directed by a murderer.
Oh, because of the helicopter thing?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a very known story. Yeah, John Landis, father of Nepo baby Max Landis.
Who's Max Landis?
He's
What are these looks?
He's a writer in Hollywood.
Okay.
He's had some interesting behavior, but yeah, he makes really like edgelordy movies. I liked a couple of them, but like he made Chronicle. He wrote Chronicle, the superhero found footage movie. Remember that one?
Oh, that's why I know of it, but I certainly didn't see it.
The other one? He wrote, was it Victor Frankenstein? That's the one with, I believe, James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe. I saw that too. That was a 2015 movie, I believe. That is a piece of shit. It should never have come out. His like thing is that like he takes like a more well-known story and he has this like crazy twist that you could have never thought of. Like a nice like a weird spin on it. And I'm like, okay.
A weird spin on Frankenstein.
Yeah, because I think that one is like it's more focused on the Igor part. I don't remember. This is fucking. It feels like a decade ago now. Anyways, but he made a Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart movie. Like I say, made, but he wrote it. That was entertaining. I don't know how it holds up now, but I liked it then. Where Jesse Eisenberg is like a stoner and Kristen Stewart is like his girlfriend, and then you find out that Kristen Stewart is like a crazy CIA agent who is like taking care of Jesse Eisenberg before he like gets his memory back or something. I don't know, something like that. One of those weird movies.
All right.
Yeah, that's some Landis family history. I don't know if I don't know other John Landis movies, but just get to the point, Joe. I didn't like this movie. Here's the synopsis. A snobbish investor and a wily street con artist find their possessions reversed as part of a bet by two callous billionaires.
How would you feel if I told you I loved this movie?
Jesus Christ. I was hoping you'd be on my fucking doorstep saying, hey, knock on this door louder. I'm ready to yell about it. I don't like this movie. I didn't find anything funny.
Well, good news, Joe, because I didn't like the movie. I just wanted to know how you'd feel.
I got so sad and scared, but I'm like, I'm ready for the argument.
This movie's terrible. I can't make an argument. This movie's a big fucking cartoon. It opens up and the guys are like, I don't care about the environment. I just care about making money on pork belly. And they twirled their mustache. And
yeah, I guess
literal Eddie Murphy goes and looks at the camera in classic Bugs Bunny fashion when somebody says something stupid.
Yeah, I get the movie's supposed to be a satire.
It's I don't know. It's not a satire. It's not. It's
supposed to be.
It's just cartoon. And everything just happened so quickly. Eddie Murphy just instantly good at stock trading. Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis just instantly fall in love. Their plan instantly works. Weird stuff on a train, like whatever. So
I had to figure out if it was me or if it was the movie. And what I've come to, some things I'm coming to understand is it's both. This movie's been critically reanalyzed now, and it's still on like top list of the best comedies of all time, which blows my
or the best
fucking
80s
mind.
Comedies of all time.
I didn't laugh once, and I'm gonna let you know I fell asleep because I was bored. But I rewound it and I watched the parts that I missed. But I had also seen this movie a couple years ago because I was like, oh, it's one of those Christmas movies. I didn't know it was a Christmas movie, and I was gonna watch it because I wanted to watch a Christmas movie. This is the fucking lowest Christmas. Like, what? This is barely a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
There's like no Christmas to it. There's like a hint of it in the score. Like a little dribble fell in there. And then I guess the Dan Aykroyd dressed like a Santa.
That's how I remembered it was Christmas.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to take place over the weeks before and after Christmas.
Yeah, they say like Merry Christmas at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then then Dan Aykroyd's in the Santa suit, and that's kind of it. It'd be very easy to forget.
And before people attack me for coming at this movie that's not Christmassy, it doesn't even give me the vibes of Christmas. There's no vibes there either, besides the not really having anything to do with Christmas. I can't call this a Christmas movie.
You could say that about Die Hard. People love that as a Christmas movie.
There's way more Christmas in Die Hard than this. The whole that score is like the Carol of the Bells thing, and it's all like I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, what else? Where else are we gonna shit on this movie because I hated it?
Well,
it's crazy that people. Yeah, go on.
Let's talk about how the movie aged poorly. Should we have like a little aged poorly count, Lev? Like every time there's like a movie is aged poorly, we do a little ding like we did for the kill count. Right?
That'd be great.
Bully did.
Well, no, that's just the kill count one, Lev.
Yeah. Number 1, Dan Aykroyd in blackface. And it's like, and he has an accent too, and I'm like, can we not do this? And he's doing it right to Eddie Murphy, and I'm like, how is he okay with this?
I wonder if I don't know. I actually do wonder, did Eddie Murphy care back then? Or was he not allowed to care? Did feelings on this change? I don't know. It was listen, Jack Black showed you don't have to be in blackface to be a Rastafarian. It's okay.
You know what? I forgot about that. I mean, maybe that's that's handled a little better. I guess. I forgot about that. We have talked about that too. At least he didn't do blackface. That's really inexcusable, and I don't understand it. And it's just like, how can you say this movie is relevant now? It's really tough seeing that. And just the really, I mean, I know the movie's from a different time, but it's like It's not from 100 fucking years ago.
Some other things that have also not aged super well. People buying and selling stocks physically. Don't really do that anymore. It's not a zoo there, fortunately, these days. And, the Twin Towers are there. So that, kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I always like seeing the Twin Towers in a movie. I'm like, oh yeah, a better time.
Oh, yeah. It was so much easier to get on a plane back then.
That's not what I was saying. All right. Well, let me just get into this. The project was originally developed for Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Eddie Murphy taking all of Richard Pryor's stuff.
Not fair to Richard Pryor, but also...
I know.
I don't know what Richard Pryor was doing at that time. Well, he lived way longer than I thought he did.
That would have been I would have done a Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder. That wouldn't have been so bad. And then they would just say, let's just put some SNL people on here.
Wait, I forgot that Richard Pryor is in Lost Highway. That is his final film role. What a way to go out.
That's his final one, really?
That's his final one. So at this time, Richard Pryor, because I guess he couldn't do the movie because he was in Superman 3. I guess that's why he took the...
He is?
Yeah, isn't that the... Yeah, that's the Richard Pryor one.
I don't think I saw that. I don't think I know that.
He's on the cover. Superman's holding him in his arms.
What a weird direction that movie must have taken in the franchise.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I feel like it didn't do well.
You know who's on this train?
Tell me.
One James Belushi.
Yes! It is James Belushi.
And if there was ever inspiring casting for James Belushi, it's oafish party goer in a gorilla suit. Why do they call him James Belushi? Imagine if his TV show were according to James, I bet the tone's very different.
Yeah, he's a little more serious.
He's there and he's like giving life lessons to his kids. You know, he's not the big oafish husband.
Probably doesn't burp after he makes a rule, like a rule in the house. I feel like that's what that show is. I've never seen it.
Eddie Murphy on that train auditioning for Coming to America.
Yeah, when is that one coming out? No, that's later in the 80s. And I don't know if you know, I haven't seen Coming to America, but I was looking up the stuff for this movie, Trading Places, and when he's asked which is like his preferred movie, he always says, I really like Trading Places, but Coming to America is more of my favorite because I got to play more characters. And I'm like, oh, an interview done before the 90s.
Yeah.
We know, Eddie. We know you like to play multiple characters. Trading Places was considered a box office success on its release, earning over $90.4 million to become the fourth highest grossing film of 1983. Do you know what the highest grossing movies of 1983 were?
Nope.
We've covered one.
Color Purple.
It was a Jack Nicholson movie.
1983. Oh, Ironweed.
Nah.
Reds?
No. Right in the middle.
Pritzi's Honor?
It's the first time he worked with Jimmy Brooks.
Oh, Terms of Endearment.
Yes. That is the number 2 highest grossing movie, made $108 million, right behind Return of the Jedi, 309.
I was like, wow, Terms of Endearment, second highest grossing. You certainly don't see that anymore. Return of the Jedi. Okay.
Yeah. It's Return of the Jedi, Terms of Endearment, Flashdance, and Trading Places. And that is important because Terms of Endearment, Flashdance, and Trading Places are all Paramount movies.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a good year. Plus Staying Alive.
That was a good year.
They had, 4 out of the 10. Yeah, it's a weird top 10 for 83. So, Return of the Jedi, Terms of Endearment, Flashdance, Trading Places, War Games, Octopussy, Sudden Impact, Staying Alive, Mr. Mom, Risky Business.
I don't know what Sudden Impact is, but everything else...
Well, I paused at it because it's a Dirty Harry movie. We'll be going down the Dirty Harry series soon.
We will?
No, you don't know, do you?
I don't know.
Little Mr. Carrey was in one of those.
What? Really?
Yeah. We get to watch a Clint Eastwood movie.
Jim Carrey playing the orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose.
I mean, I'm just picturing that movie with him now. That'll be fun. Because he likes to do his Clint Eastwood impressions. All right. This movie...
Alrighty then.
Yeah, exactly. This movie received generally positive reviews, with critics praising both the central cast and the film's revival of the screwball comedy genre prevalent in the 30s and 40s.
This just feels too screwy for a screwball. A little too much screw on that.
They were criticizing it for the lack of the same moral message of the genre while promoting accumulation of wealth. It received multiple award nominations, including the Academy Award.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. They're like, why wasn't this movie promoting a moral message? Because it seemed pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you missed it, because if the moral message were a frying pan, you'd have a big cartoon bump on your head.
You were on this movie's wavelength. You're like, I'll play ball.
What a stupid thing to criticize. Of all the things you could criticize, you're gonna go with the thing it actually did. Okay.
This received an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Score for Elmer Bernstein's score.
I mean, I really thought he just stole classical music. I wasn't certain a lot of this was original.
It's not. It's wild.
Great. All right.
And you know what? You could have given that Best Original Score to Terms of Endearment. Great score. Stand by that one.
Bet you could have given it to a lot of movies, and I wouldn't have complained.
The film also launched or revitalized the careers of its main cast, who each appeared in several other films throughout the 1980s. And Eddie Murphy became one of the highest paid actors and most sought after comedians in Hollywood.
I mean, he's got these two blockbuster hits back to back. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, and he's about to have another one.
In two different genres?
Yeah.
I get it.
Did you know who the Duke brothers were? Have you seen those actors before?
I certainly feel like I do, but I could not place them.
Ralph Bellamy. I've heard the name. Oh, Rosemary's Baby. He's in Pretty Woman. We've covered him before. He's in His Girl. He went from His Girl Friday to Pretty Woman. Incredible run. Yeah, because his last movie probably was Pretty Woman, because he died in 91, and he was
another movie of rich old
1990.
fogies. Yeah, that's just what he does.
And then Don Amici. Don Amici was the other Duke brother. He won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor 2 years later in the movie Cocoon. Have you seen Cocoon?
The horror movie?
The Ron Howard movie?
Oh, then no.
Do you know what the setup for that movie is? I want to read this to you because I've only heard the setup and I've been intrigued ever since. When a group of trespassing seniors swim in a pool containing alien cocoons, they find themselves energized with youthful vigor. A Ron Howard movie.
Is this the movie I'm thinking of then? Man, I don't know. It's been 20 years. That is crazy on many levels. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now.
What a cast, though. Gutenberg, Tandy, Don Amici, Wilford Brimley, Brian Dennehy.
Wilford Brimley.
Let's do the Wilford Brimley season.
Is this the most convoluted and ridiculous setup to a movie we've ever seen?
I clocked it. It's about 40 minutes before they actually start moving
Trading
along
places.
with the plot. Yes. Like, that's 40 minutes in is when Dan Aykroyd finally goes to jail.
Like, it just
That's
seems like
so
way too much
long.
had to happen for their dumb, stupid bet that they share the same money anyway. So, like, what is it really for?
Yeah, well, they're like, we bet $1.
I guess we found out it was just $1, and they're like,
It's literally them just trying to destroy people.
You try to pitch it like, oh, what would happen if these two guys switch places, nature versus nurture? I go, oh, that's kind of interesting. And they're like, well, what if we did it in the dumbest, stupidest, cartoonish way possible? I go, well, I'm less interested now.
Also, where are the jokes? I didn't get many jokes. Like, I get the idea, it was why I had to go back and rewind it, because I was like looking at it, I'm like, did I miss some jokes in this?
Yeah, you have two fish out of water stories back to back, a common comedy trope. You didn't really do much with either. Like, Eddie throws his party, which, by the way, was pretty tame by Eyes Wide Shut standards, and then he instantly becomes like rich people.
Who dropped their cools on my floor? Like, I like that line.
Instantly then just like takes to the lifestyle. Like, there was no, or it just like was from point A to point B in a flat second. All it took was one party.
Yeah, he saw quickly, he's like, I don't like this.
I think he was okay as he was getting used to it when he's like, you guys are joking me. You want me to break other things? And as he's like fighting with the... And then Dan Aykroyd just is like, he's just like a sad sack. Like there wasn't even really any jokes. His life just got worse and worse. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was going to be like he's hanging out with his hooker. Now he's going to like make a very reputable hooking business somehow. He's going to like turn it around.
It turns into risky business.
Yeah, somebody brings all this money into the slums and he's like, you can't. No, they just didn't do that either. Like, I don't know.
I believe this comes out the same year as Risky Business.
It does. You just said it was on the top 10
number
list.
10.
Prostitutes were big in 1983, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Jamie Lee Curtis of the Drew Carey Show fame.
I guess she was she had a hard time getting this role because she was mostly in horror movies, and people were like,
"Oh, I see.
You're a horror person. You're
so
someone in the
like,
horror
fine,
genre."
I'll show you my breasts. Can I come in now, please?
That's just weird, right? I don't get it. If she Halloween was an enormous hit, and she's daughter of two very famous people. I don't get how she has a hard time getting roles.
It is a problem that all creatives have, transcending genre. It's tough. Yeah. Like, you have to be careful when you're starting out how you market yourself, because it will happen.
Oh, was she in 3 horror movies? There's Prom Night, Halloween, and the...
If you go, 3 in a row, now that's how you're like, oh, well, you really bring them into the horror films. Let's put you in those, because that's why that's where they want to see you.
I guess, but she was making money. She wasn't she was just
horror money. That's how they think. Is it dumb? Yeah, they do many dumb things. I don't know what to tell you. They're dumb. They're dumb over there.
How much did that stupid Halloween movie make? I knew it made him a lot of money. Of course, when I type in Halloween into Google, it's like, you mean the holiday, right? And I'm like, God damn it. Yes. Let's see. Off a budget of $300,000, it made $70 million.
Trading Places?
No, Halloween. It's what I'm saying.
We're still on Halloween? I moved on.
I'm saying Jamie Lee Curtis was a huge star after that.
Listen, it's a big fucking slasher thing. I don't know. She's like horror star, but you're like, Mike Myers, hey.
Defined the genre, after her mother, I don't know. I think it's ridiculous that she was having a hard time getting a role. That's crazy.
I'm not surprised. I think a lot of Hollywood is ridiculous, and yet it still functions.
Yeah, somehow.
Hopefully not for long.
Other things that don't age well. How about having a joke of someone being raped by a gorilla? That's great. You
know what? It's kind of crazy that this isn't the last time we'll see somebody in an Eddie Murphy film getting butt humped by a giant animal.
Just put that together. Fucking hell. Oh, God.
We just can't win, can we?
No.
We're on the slide down near instantly.
I was not a fan of this.
Deus Ex Gorilla 2, right? The gorilla kind of I know they're setting it up, within a 10-minute span, but
yeah.
Thank God that gorilla was there, or you guys would have been shot to death by this guy who, by the way, was reading the G. Gordon Liddy biography on the train.
Of course you clocked that. Of course you did.
And then you got a second Watergate reference when Eddie Murphy hands off the fake documents. When he's pretending to be a deep throat kind of guy.
I guess it was what? It was still under a decade, right?
Yes, it was, especially when it was very recent. It was 6 years, 7 years.
Okay.
It's still a big deal. The nation forever changed after Watergate. I'm not surprised.
Oh, I have the Landis thing right here. Landis continued to work as a director, but suffered setbacks following a lawsuit over the accidental deaths of several actors. Several! On a segment he directed for Twilight Zone the movie, and a succession of moderately successful films. Oh no, we have a few more of the Landises. Alright, we'll save the Landis talk for later then.
The Landis?
Yeah. That's not what he wants to be known as.
The woman who was Dan Aykroyd's fiancée.
Yes, what was she in? Have you seen her?
You've seen her before.
I have.
She was in Manhunter.
Shit.
You know where else you've seen her from?
Kristen Holby. Okay, where have I seen her? Manhunter, Trading Places. Yep. I get your joke.
That's it.
I have completed
You have
her
100%ed
filmography.
her filmography.
Well, that's crazy. Because these movies aren't like the same year. They're like 3 years apart.
They're not the same year. They are not the same genre. They are not the same parts of the industry. She just disappeared. I don't know why, how, where. I don't remember her at all from Manhunter, and she did just fine here. But like this isn't a type of role she could have kept getting. These roles existed everywhere in the 80s. They were plentiful.
Yeah, she's Mrs. Jacoby, which means she's
probably wasn't a big role.
Trying to remember. I've read that book, and I've seen the both versions of the movie.
She wasn't in the other one.
Yeah, I know that. She stopped working. She was like, I've had enough of this. 2 bad experiences.
She's like, I just can't listen to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida anymore. I can't.
Does it play the whole song in that movie? I think it does.
The whole song.
I think so. It's a big action set piece.
Yeah, I don't like that movie, but I like that sequence. I like the last 20... I like the In-Gadda-Da-Vida minutes of the movie.
It's fun. It's fun because it's also like it's before Silence of the Lambs, and Silence of the Lambs kind of uses the same technique that Manhunter does at the end with the night vision, I believe. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about that movie. Paul Gleason. He's the one that's taken out by the gorilla.
And reading Will, The Story of Triumph by G. Gordon Liddy.
Yes.
By the way, kind of a good character note.
Yeah.
He seems like the guy that would read that biography.
So yeah, this is right before his biggest year. Holy shit. I know it's mostly television.
Eddie's biggest year?
This is Paul Gleason's biggest A-Team, Remington Steele, Cagney and Lacey, Call to Glory, Hardcastle and McCormick, Riptide, Hill Street Blues, and Magnum P.I. Then follows it up with an all-timer role in The Breakfast Club the next year.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you didn't know? You don't remember who he was yet?
It didn't. I'm like, I've seen this guy. I mean, I've probably seen him in a lot of those TV shows you've also just listed.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen him kicking around everywhere.
Yeah, because he also shows up in The Equalizer, Miami Vice, and another A-Team episode. The A-Team, he plays a different character in both A-Team episodes. He's Roy Kelsey in one, and then he's Harry Sullivan in another episode. Didn't you love it back then? They could just be like, I'm a new guy now.
Listen, famed actor Patrick McGoohan played 4 different roles in Columbo.
I love it.
And he won an Emmy for one of them in the middle. Like, and it just kept coming back as somebody else. So.
Great.
I think the moral of the story is insider trading saves the day yet again.
Jim Belushi's in this.
James Belushi.
James Belushi.
His credit is James Belushi.
Twin Peaks James Belushi. He's only 69?
Nice.
How is he that young? It feels like he's been in our lives forever.
He's the younger Belushi, I guess.
Guess so.
Technically older now.
Yeah, well, that's just how time works. Have you seen many... Well, I mean, we did cover one of them. We just did it. Jumpin' Jack Flash. He's the Sperry repairman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We skipped over his other Whoopi movie, Homer and Eddie.
We almost watched it.
We were thinking about it. Oh my god, he's got a series of K9 movies. K911, K9PI. He is in a Pinocchio movie.
Did you... I'm done talking about James Belushi. I don't need to give him any more time. Were you following along what was going on in the stock market thing at the end?
No, I don't get that, and I feel really dumb. That was my question before you told me you didn't like it. I was like, do I not just like this because I'm too stupid, or do I not like it because I'm too smart? Because it just drove me nuts the whole time.
I don't think that is a very audience-friendly scene, because what's going on there is really complicated, and I was only figuring it out because I've been doing some research on stock market, crypto stuff for a script I'm kind of working on, so...
Crypto stuff, Patrick. Be careful.
Basically, here's the nonsense that was going on there. They started selling the orange juice stocks that they don't have when the price was really high, knowing the price was going to go down. So they're selling things they don't own. And then in the span of 5 minutes, they go all the way down, like $110. And then they have to now buy them at that price to give them back to the people they sold it to.
Oh, okay.
And then they make the profit of it.
I also, on the Wikipedia, it kind of gives like a little synopsis, like, I mean, a rundown of what is happening in that scene, because it's just like...
Yeah, the movie's not very clear on it.
Yeah, it's just like, this is happening!
Which is somewhat fair, because it is sort of a complicated, arcane thing.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised your big climax is, like, incomprehensible to probably a lot of your middle America audience, and yet the movie's still very... People are just like, looks like whatever they're doing, they seem to like it, so I'm on their side. Let's go.
Do you think Oliver Stone saw this movie and he's like, now let me take a dramatic turn with this. Let's make Wall Street.
All right, you want a little Sandler watch?
What?
Sandler Watch.
Maybe you've heard this and you just didn't send it to me yet.
Okay.
Variety's announced that Adam Sandler is going to have a new Netflix comedy special.
Okay.
Directed by Josh Safdie.
What? Is that all
I mean,
real?
that doesn't mean much because it's a comedy special, but...
Yeah, but it could get weird at the beginning and the end. Like,
I think by comedy special, they mean, like, stand-up comedy, right?
yeah, I know. Sandler's comedy specials have been interesting. He did a weird one from the 90s. I think I sent it to you. He does songs, and then he had it, like, interacting, like, you would see, like, the fans before the show started. And that was kind of cool. And, like, they would all give their, like, their favorite things. I don't know. It was just kind of a whirlwind of, like, whoa, 90s Sandler fans were all like bros, but like they were like before bros were bro. It's an interesting dynamic that was going on back then. 'Cause it's like the larva stage of a bro, like back then. you should. It's called what? It's the What the Hell Happened to Me tour that he did.
Is that why we're called what we're called?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's it's like one of his like biggest like well-known albums.
Look at that little origin story I wasn't aware of.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I told you that. I'm sorry.
I mean, you might have, 9 years ago, and it didn't stick in my brain.
Did you catch Edie Falco in this?
No.
A young Edie Falco appears as a coach passenger looking disgusted at Winthrop as he bites into a salmon he lifted from the firm's party at around the 81-minute mark.
Well, I do remember that. Doesn't look like her, but it also, was like 20 years before I've seen her.
Yeah, I know. It's like 15 years before Oz. Do you know Oz?
I know Oz.
All right, I didn't know.
You always get on my case about shit.
I feel like if you didn't know about Oz, or if I didn't make you watch Oz when I finally discovered how to use an iPod, because I made a lot of people...
Oz is one of those early HBO hits, right? It's Oz and Sopranos and The Wire. Like, it put HBO
but it
on the
came
map.
on when we were 6 years old, so I don't think we were watching Oz.
We weren't watching it, but I know about it.
Yeah. Well, I watched it. I watched all 6 seasons, like 60 episodes or whatever it is. Okay, I'm done. All right. You want to go to last look?
What are your last looks? Yeah.
This movie does not age well, and it did not make me laugh. Sorry, Eddie. I liked your first movie. This one I saw a few years ago. I don't like it. I still don't like it.
How I feel this will be a common refrain from you, Joe, as we travel through Eddie's 80 filmography.
Here's a confession. I've only, other than this movie, I've only seen 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. That's it. That's all I've seen of his.
Well, Dr. Dolittle.
I mean, yeah, but that's in the late 90s.
Yeah, everybody's always like Eddie Murphy, real funny in the 80s. Not off to a good start. Though I did like the parts I laughed were Eddie related, so.
Yeah, it's an okay start. It's weird that this movie made so much money, though.
It's not weird to me. It's annoying to me, but it's not weird to me. It's the American Fiction effect. Like, I get it. I wish I didn't, but it's true.
We haven't talked about that yet.
So you gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah. Wait, you gave it 3.5?
That's what I gave it too, isn't it? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's very nice of you. I gave it 3.5 because I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's where my it's fine.
It's fine, very relatable, but fine.
I had an issue with the tone where it kept jumping back and forth of like, hey, here's a great little jab in the stomach. oh, and hey, here's a fucking dagger to the heart. We just killed off another one of his
Yeah, everybody's dying in this film.
Yeah, no, and it's just like it's out of nowhere. Like the beginning with his sister, and I was like, sorry, spoilers for that movie that came out months ago.
And it doesn't even like look. It's just like, and I go, oh.
Yeah.
It comes out of nowhere, but in like the worst possible way.
Yeah.
It's like shoehorned in there.
I thought it was fine. If I watch it again, it would definitely rank lower for me.
Yeah, it's not. You kind of got it on the first view.
Definitely. That's one I'm like, I got it, which is rare because I'm usually like,
got
I don't
it.
mind to
It was
see
funny.
Again.
I complained about the same things. I would have read your Persians. Let's move on.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie Kaufman wrote a children's movie that is on Netflix right now. It's called Orion in the Dark. I put it on for my son yesterday. He stayed and watched 40 minutes of the movie, and the only reason why he left was because mommy came home. And I was like, did he like it? And then I was like, I don't like this. But it's basically like Inside Out, but with light and dark. So it's like exploring those different entities. I think that's what they call them, with like insomnia, sweet dreams, like waking up in the morning and going and being afraid of the dark. And this kid is just afraid of everything. And I'm like, okay. But then it gets like super heady because it starts out like...
Because it's a Charlie Kaufman film?
Yes, because you're in a story, but then you find out that you're in a story, and it's a dad telling his daughter about the story of...
Like the Lego movie.
Yeah, but it kind of gives it away like right away, and then it kind of just meanders a lot, and I'm like... And then you can tell like when Charlie Kaufman like got the thing taken away from him because he's like, enough of this shit. And I'm like, I like his shit, but it just didn't blend well for me, and it's fine.
Well, maybe next time show your boy being John Malkovich. Maybe that'll go better with him.
I think there's some really weird shit in that movie that just would not fly.
All right, my last looks. Why has anyone produced this movie? Well, he's still starting off his Hollywood career. He's only done the one other movie. This one's more in his purview. We get to do a comedy thing with the old guard of SNL, which sort of is a nice passing of the torch between them. I don't know why he wouldn't take the movie.
Yeah.
I get why he's going to get a lot of movies from here on out. If you do 2 smash hits back to back, it seems pretty easy to ride that out.
Giant blockbuster hits. Like huge hits of the decade.
You started one genre, you poorly revived another one, I guess. So good for you.
He's going to kind of go back next time to his action comedy, but I guess it's more Beverly Hills Cop is a comedy action.
You blend
movie.
the two, right?
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
What? I haven't watched it in a few years. To your recollection, you've seen it, right?
I don't think I've seen all of it. I think this was a movie that'd be on Saturday afternoon on Comedy Central, and I'd catch chunks of it here and there. I'm interested to know what parts I remember.
All right, because I was just going to ask if you remember which tone kind of stuck out more, the action or the comedy. And I think it's more of an action movie to me. That's what I remember it. But we'll see.
Well, we'll find out soon, but not next week, because next week we get to introduce one James Carrey to the scene.
Jimmy.
According to Jim
Carrey.
Yeah. All right, I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping us sounding so slippery smooth. I hope his Valentine's Day little card works out for him and his sweetie. I'd like to thank Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Oh, thank you.
And I am your host, Patrick Scaley. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
To the right, ever to the right, never to the left, forever to the right. Let our creed be never to exceed regulated speed, no matter what the need. Come sing Hosanna, Hosanna, emblazoned on our banner is keep cool.
Today's a day of love.
That's tomorrow.
Today's the eve of love.
That's sure. I'll take that one.
Yeah. Did you see the Frankenstein thing?
Frankenstein. Oh, with Frankenstein?
Yeah. You think that's why they cast him? Somebody was like, hey, remember...
Do you remember when you called yourself Frankenstein in that movie that was written that you had to say that line? Remember how that was almost like 30 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, no.
I guess it's like 25 years ago, so it's actually 25 years ago.
No, it's not. Right? It's 97?
99.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
It was 97 to be more years.
There's a lot of movies doing like a theatrical anniversary screening this year. This one's not one of them. Big Daddy's not one of them.
God.
Feels like a slam dunk, no?
Feels like easy layup. Yes, let's keep going with the basketball metaphors, because that's what's predominantly taking over my life.
Maybe it's Netflix has like a Sandler embargo. They're like, no Sandler films in theater anymore. We own Sandler now.
That's not true, because I saw the Meyerowitz stories at the theater. That was his first
they're like little 1 week thing, like, meh.
Well, that's back when Kendall was actually like, hey, we supply you with the movies that you can't find in any other theater. Now they're like, well, give us something that's popular. We need people to come here. And I'm like, way to ruin your credibility. It's really sad. I have not gone back since the pandemic.
Yeah, they just have like nothing great there anymore.
It's like scattered. And also their showings don't start till like 3 o'clock now. They've completely abandoned the matinee. It sucks. It sucks. Annoying. And the matinee, they used to charge like almost half price because no one would come. And I'm like, I would get off the train. I'd be like, hey, I'm here. 1 ticket for this movie that's going to play for 2 weeks here. And that's it. Then I got to wait 6 months for it to come out. Now everything's like, digital 3 weeks later. There you go.
We had a lot of days where we watched 4 movies there.
God. Bliss.
Sounds like you couldn't do that anymore. The schedule wouldn't work out.
Yeah, you could probably do 2, and that's it. Yeah, I used to do 3, even after you weren't able to go as much anymore. Like, 'cause I like in the fall of 2015, I was like, I'll take 1 for Room, 1 for Steve Jobs. Like, Steve Jobs actually did play at like Bellingham a week later, and I was pissed about that because I was like, you said you were getting a limited release. Yeah, Room never played anywhere, though, so that was my one and only chance to see that. And then, what was the other one? Was it Carol? I think I saw Carol later, though. I think Carol was too early.
I thought I saw Carol with you.
We did see Carol, but it came out in December because it was a Christmas movie, but then it played wide the middle of January, and I'm like, okay. It's not when I wanted to see it.
I think I saw Room at the Providence Theater that is no longer there. The cable car.
You know, I tell Tanya of our trips to the cable car cinema, and I'm like, we always used to cozy up on the couch, and she's like, enough.
Well, I wish that theater were around for you two. That would have been a great date night movie.
That's what I told her.
We saw Ghost Story there, which they have back in theater tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, they have like a anniversary screening or a Valentine's screening. Because it's a love story.
Yeah, sure. The greatest love story, a triumph.
It's a love story.
It's the most devastating thing.
I wish I wasn't busy. I'd go see it.
I know. It's one of your rare 5 stars.
Yeah, it's only one show time tomorrow, 7 p.m.
So they're not like making it difficult, but yeah, 7 p.m. is, it's a certain crowd.
A second theater near me has it at 9:30.
Well, the benefits of living in California.
Maybe I go see that. Yeah, Framingham has it at 7. I don't know about Bellingham because this is an AMC. Oh, it's sold out in Framingham. Don't try to go see it, Joe.
Oh, it's okay. I plan on doing a double feature of Bob Marley, One Love, and Madam Web. My Valentine's.
That sounds like a really, really boring double feature. I admire though.
Yeah.
Dakota Johnson going out and being like,
yes,
this
me too.
movie's trash, don't watch it. And the industry's in a shitty place if a movie like this can get made.
She is saying almost exactly that, but she's also saying like things like, we shot on green screens the whole time, and I don't know if this movie's good. I wish this chaos was around in like 2018, 2019, when everyone was like, these movies need to win Oscars.
Why? I thought Madam Web was an old lady. I need a comic book expert. She was an old lady. What happened? Is she only an old lady in the cartoon? Because that's my primary reference.
This is her origin story. We're finding out her when she's a young lady. She's a young madam.
I just didn't know she did anything. I don't understand.
This cast has been like greenlit because they're like working on some kind of like social media presence. Like, hey, this person is really popular right now because of this show. So like they're super hot. They need to be in this. That's how they're working with it. Like this person's really big with
That's how the casting does for these soap opera things that I do. They're like, we're going to get this person's got this many followers on Instagram. And I'm like, can they act? And they go, does it matter? And I would think ideally yes, but all right. Whatever you guys say, overlords.
This is a blurb from David Ehrlich's review. Madam Web is easily the most 2003 superhero movie since Daredevil, but also a lot worse than that. Dakota Johnson is innocent, though.
That's nice.
I think she's like, guys, I needed to pay my health insurance for the year.
Yeah.
Or like something like that.
I got my SAG dues.
Now I can make these movies that make no money, but give me lots of cool cred. So I'll see you around. Or maybe you won't because you never go see my good movies. Like, who saw A Bigger Splash besides me and made it my #1 movie of 2015? Hot, yeah.
I don't even think I've heard of that.
So good.
A Bigger Splash. Oh, is that the music movie?
No.
The band?
Luca Guadagnino. It's the movie he made right before Call Me By Your Name. Ray Fiennes, Dakota Johnson. Why am I blanking on the star of the movie? Tilda Swinton.
Of course, it's Tilda Swinton.
I love it. Yeah. No, she's like a mute singer because she lost her voice, but she has like a David Bowie presence in it.
So it is the music movie.
But there's no music in it.
Yeah. But it's like it's there's no music in song
like
to song.
Aging rock
right?
stars and
yeah.
it's like a soapy movie. It's really good. I love that movie so much. Check it out.
I feel like that guy's fallen off a cliff at some point.
Why? Because he didn't like Bones and All?
He did that? That was him?
That was him, Bones and All.
I'm pulling up his resume. I have not been impressed by his last few movies.
Okay, so you didn't like Suspiria, the remake of Suspiria?
No, did not like that. I don't like Call Me By Your Name.
Ooh, that's I don't like to hear that.
Oh, he did do Bones and All. That's nuts. Oh, Challengers. Yeah, I think I saw a trailer for Challengers, and that looked terrible, too.
That's wrong. That's going to be... that. Okay, so hold on. That movie is written by the spouse of Past Lives director.
Oh, a movie I've yet to see out of fear of boredom?
Yeah, but if you see that movie, you might have just like a... like. So this is what her husband wrote now, like about the situation that's going on. I love Call Me By Your Name. That was another one of my favorites from, what was that, 2017? Yeah.
I mean, maybe I only like, I haven't seen A Bigger Splash, so maybe I'll give that a try. But maybe I only like I Am Love. Maybe I just like, he just made a good movie. And that's the thing he did.
No, I'm even more in the pocket for him now because I watched his Christmas short he made a couple years ago. He made a Christmas short starring John C. Reilly and Alex Wolff. It's called Oh Night Divine. It's 43 minutes. It's on YouTube. I'll send it to you.
That's not Christmas. A short. 43 minutes is not a short, filmmakers.
Well, what is it considered? It's not a feature.
It technically is a feature. 40 minutes is the official cutoff. 40 minutes, the official cutoff line.
Well, what if it's 39 minutes with 4 minutes of credits?
You should have made them quicker credits. I don't know what to tell you.
I think Challengers looks really fun, and I think you're wrong about Luca Guadagnino. I haven't seen I Am Love, so what you're saying to me is I haven't seen his best movie.
His best film? That's what it sounds like, yeah. His one-hit wonder film.
Don't say that. That's so not true. That movie made no money.
Yes, I know. My constant curse.
It's on Hulu. I can watch it at any time. That's really nice to know. I will watch that this week. Just like, watch how I'm going to turn around. Just like how you took a little note out of my playbook and watched some Midnight Run, baby. Do you know how happy that made me?
Yeah, I was in the mood. I was like,
I love to hear that you're in the mood to watch Midnight Run.
I want a fun movie. Let's go do that.
Look at this permanent smile on my face right now. I like hearing that you watched fun movies.
I can like fun movies.
Well, it seems like you're movies. Like in like found footage horror Tubi like Hellzone.
Well, no, I act like Like, I actually sat down and watched Midnight Run.
Wow.
I just watched it because it's like you have to. There's a lot of things you have to pay attention to. Like the people like beating each other up while talking.
Yeah,
on the
it's a
phone
great
and stuff.
movie.
Like, there's a lot of visual gags. Like you kind of gotta watch. That's fun. I watched this German teacher lounge movie.
German
teacher.
teacher.
Saw that.
What's that?
Yeah, that's why I went and saw it. And I thought, well, I've never heard of this movie. It's from Germany. I'm going on Monday at like 1:00 in the afternoon. And I'm like, why are there 12 people here? There's a lot of people.
Wow.
Is there buzz about this film I'm not aware of?
Well, if you remember, we weren't the only ones in the theater when we saw that silent sign language film. What was that called?
The Tribe.
The Tribe. Yeah.
Yeah, we went on a Saturday.
I guess. And I guess it just felt like it was noontime on a Saturday, and there
we
was still
went to the
people there.
Brattle. Like that's a place that people go to see. I went to just an AMC. You could go and watch the dumb whatever Argyle. Well, no one's watching that, so
I saw it. It's bad.
now I'm wondering, maybe is this like an Oscar foreign thing?
Oh yeah. This is definitely got to be nominated or something. The background picture is a woman screaming.
Yes.
Is that a very intense scene? It looks pretty intense.
The Germans have a great way of making their movies feel really taut, intense, and cringeworthy without like really shoving it in your face. It just like always slowly builds. I remember Victoria, just always slowly building, and you're like, I need a break.
That movie is incredible.
So what are the foreign Best Picture movies? Because it's not Godzilla. I'll tell you that.
I have to look this up. I do not know what they are. 20.
Yeah, I didn't think you did, but I just
international. That's what it's called now. International feature. Oh, okay. And the nominees are. This is stupid. Why is this movie in there? The Zone of Interest, Jonathan Glazer, which is going to be the winner because it's nominated for Best Picture. That doesn't make any sense when they do that. It drives me crazy. Perfect Days from Japan.
Yeah, the not Godzilla film.
Wim Wenders, even though he's
the not monster film. Go on.
Yeah. Society of the Snow, Spain. J.A. Bayona. The last movie I believe he made, maybe not, but I think it might be, was Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom.
Well, Netflix has been pushing that one on me, so maybe it is on there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna try to pronounce his name. Iker Katek. And then the last one is Io Capitano, Italy. Matteo Garrone. I'm really struggling with the pronunciations.
Maybe I watched the Society of Snow film, though. That also looked kind of boring. The PlayStation's like, watch it. I'm like, calm down. I'm trying to get through Naiad.
Yeah, I've heard the beginning is a little intense, and then it's very long.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's a lot of, like, do you know what it's about, or?
No, I don't know.
I don't want to ruin anything then. Go in with a surprised face.
I'll just do it. When do I gotta, when are the Oscars? Is that this month or next month?
The 10th of March? Yeah, March 10th, I believe.
Who are the actresses again?
Oof. Annette Bening. Naiad.
Yes, I know. American Ferrera.
No, that's supporting actress.
Oh, that's the one I want to know. Tell me that one.
Okay. Supporting actress is Divine Joy Randolph. Holdovers. Then there's America Ferrera for Barbie. I don't know, so I'm gonna look it up. Danielle Brooks, The Color Purple. Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, and Jodie Foster, Naiad.
Emily Blunt?
Yeah, I know, for the wife role. I guess she has like one scene in there that's like a little bit pivotal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This feels like maybe supporting actress was like a more difficult thing to figure out this year, but I still am like, okay, this is what we got.
Some thought popped in my head, and I was like, what? Oh, Jodie Foster, right? She was too.
Yeah, Jodie Foster for Naiad.
Some thought popped into my head this week, and I was like, why wasn't so-and-so nominated? take out America Ferrera. You could take out Emily Blunt. I don't know. Okay, let's do this. I'll bitch about the Oscars enough as the weeks go on.
Do you remember who won Best Actor last year?
No.
For the best performance by a whale.
Oh, really? What was he up against?
Brendan Fraser. He was up against, I believe. Let's see. I can't. I blocked that out hard. Let's see. Best actor last year was frustrating. Bill Nye, Living. Paul Mescal, Aftersun, incredible movie. Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin, incredible movie. Austin Butler, Elvis.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm picking there anyway. None of those really.
Colin Farrell.
Nah, I didn't really like that
Deserves
movie.
it. You don't like Colin?
No, I just didn't really like that movie.
Well,
I got no horse in that race. I didn't see the Sun movie, but
you should.
Is that on Hulu?
I don't know where that is, but no, it is on Hulu because I subscribe to Showtime. No, I know it. No, because I can't get rid of Hulu right now because I don't have access to disable it. It's from an old email and I don't know how to get in there. So I remember the last time I had to do that, I had to call up Hulu services and ask for a new password. And then I forgot the password because I forgot to write it down because it was on Thanksgiving. And that was like 5 years ago and I'm not doing it again. So I'll wait till my debit card expires and then we won't have Hulu anymore.
Okay.
That's where I am with that. I'm like, we'll keep it because I'm paying for Hulu with Showtime because someone accessed my account and did that because I got rid of that. So I'm really upset about that because I'm paying like $12 extra onto that. So use it up. Watch Aftersun. It's good. It also has a bunch of A24 movies. That's what Showtime has right now. All right, but we didn't watch any A24 movies. We watched a movie that was made way before A24 was a little seed in its mama's belly. Also, just want to comment on what you were saying last week, which was Eddie Murphy's streaming service is definitely Paramount Plus. I saw
It does seem like it.
Another 48 Hours, Trading Places. I thought I saw Coming to America.
Yeah, it kept recommending
the
other
vampire
Eddie
one.
Murphy movies to me.
Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 and 3.
It's going to make our lives a little easier.
So much easier.
There's 3 of them?
There will be 4, my friend, if you remember.
Now I do. All right. Let's shut up. Let me drink and let's do this.
Let's do it.